Today we will go through this statement here and I'm going to fact check it with you online. And I did a video a couple days ago of Stephen Guilbeault and Pierre. They were throwing numbers out. And Canada is number 57th, and Stephen said he lied. And I proved that if Pierre is right or Stephen is right or wrong, and everyone loved that. So I'll go through here. Maybe this is something new to do, is to actually show the building blocks of how the fact checking is done. So this is a Google slide, and I can share the link so it's public. I'll put the link in the description. But usually what I do, because to organize this stuff when I get a chance, is I put a screenshot as you see on the screen here with a hyperlink. See that beautiful hyperlink at the bottom here? And this is a Google. You need a Gmail account, and Google is very good at this, and I love it. So you can take the hyperlink, go into the internet, Chrome. I'm not doing a plug for them, but anyway, you go into the browser and you can see it for yourself. You can see this, and what's good about it, I've noticed, and I'll go through this, and I know I'm talking a lot here too, is that sometimes links change, but the picture is good to keep. And I can go through some steps of how I do this too. I have seen it too where I save a hyperlink and it just sort of disappears. Like it says that information's not available anymore. So I'm like, screw this. I'll put the actual link that I saw at the time and that. So I'll put that in the description where this come through, and I'm going to have a look at these slides or what I think is important to go through these facts, because for this statement right here, I personally find it hard to believe. And this is the hunch or the gut feeling that that something's really wrong with this. So I'm going to have a look at that now, but I'm going to put that in the description, the Google slide that anyone can go through and you can build on it and show me if there's something new. So you just have to do a file, copy, and you can keep it yourself. It doesn't matter. So I'll go through that right now. And this is where the data is coming from. And I was going to talk about this one too, and I'll make it bigger in a second. The liberals throw those beautiful charts out. And for example, here's a beautiful PDF. You see that hyperlink at the bottom. I'm going to go through that in a minute. I just find when they shoot their mouth off, Freeland and all of them, there's like a sales slogan, and it's beautiful. It's memorable. It's very good marketing and strategy. And where do the numbers come from? That's really the question. And a lot of times, you can't even prove the data because it's not even available yet, which I find extremely um, annoying and not nice at all. So let's go through this example, because this is the chart that everything, it's twice as better under Trudeau as it was in Harper. I don't believe it. So let's have a look at this, because you can see here the 14%. Oh, so that means when Trudeau came in, there was 14% poverty, and now there's 7.4%. I find that extremely hard to believe, and I'm trying to keep an open mind here with it. But let's have a look at this. There you go. There's the hyperlink. It goes right to here. Beautiful chart, beautifully done. I'm not up and down. I love it. It tells the story. That's all it's asking for. But I don't know. Where do these numbers come from? Let's have a look. Now, a lot of this data, they try to come from Stats Canada, and here's the official poverty line. Let's have a look at that. This line represents, you can see a vertical percent from 5. Okay. Okay, this is the more information about the poverty line. And I was thinking about this too. How do you even know what the poverty line is? But that chart that you saw, as you can see at the top here, is from a baseline of 2018. And I've seen this a lot too. What this is, it's a model. So it's all based on 2018. And they predict what it is in the future and what it is in the past. And it's a model from data scientists, and there's assumptions in there, and you don't see it. There's not like, the number of people. Like I thought it would be something like this. Something like this. Look at this poverty profile. Okay, 1992. Let's here, something like this. Number of people, like I guess at a certain salary or whatever, it's a number. So here, and you can see this old data. I thought it was just a number. 4 million people. You see that at the end, 1994 million people, but the population is, and that's how you get the percent. Like that's how you think it would be. And it's not like that. It's a model. And I think a lot of times when they have models, and climate change is a model too, that they're not open at all where the data comes from. And I've seen it with the climate model, the temperatures from Toronto going back 30 years, how they measure from the airport and then they moved it from the airport to the city to downtown Toronto or whatever, and the way they measure change, and I'm not even sure the time of day. So there's a lot of assumptions behind that, but I thought it was just a number, and it's not. So really, the question is that number that the government comes up with. So they made a brand new KPI in 2018, and they don't really say much information, the raw data, where it comes from. So it's really validate. Is it really 7%? Because that sounds not right. This is another place that they measure poverty, and it's this campaign 2005. And once again, the link is in the slide. And if you go through here, they say here, 1 in 5. So they're saying right here, because, and I'm picking this because it's not the government, like not Government of Canada, Ottawa. So they're saying in 2019, 17%. So, this goes like down to the definition of it because how can it be 17% in 2009? I'll take a screenshot of this right here. And then I will go through and put back the other one. So let's go back to that slide there. Hang on here. Okay. Here, paste it. Okay. So what I highlighted here is from the food board. So in 2019 it was 17%. So how come they have 10 here? So there's already a bit of a discrepancy at this point here and it's the way the definitions of how it's made. Let's look at the next example. So I'm already saying that the government data from 150 StatCan is inconsistent with other data sources. This is another data source, Macro Tech here. And they have a beautiful chart here. Very nice. So let's just change this to 2020. 2020 here. Whoops. Not 2020. 2000. Okay. So this, I'll go to the title. Canada Poverty Rate. This looks like it's an unbiased. It's not the government of Canada making up a KPI. So if you look at it here, and here are the years at the bottom, and whatever they're saying, Harper was around in here. To me, that looks like it's higher. And this is, it looks higher and it doesn't look like it's too far off from what it was. So once again, the data doesn't look very consistent here. It's not in line with that beautiful chart that the government of Canada had. Let's look at another data source. And before we look at the last data source, let's look at some comments here because from now what I've looked at it looks like there's something not right with the data. And you can read this on the screen here too. And yeah, I think all these people, it is valid. This is real information here. And it's that part of the liberal numbers and stats. You need to tell the whole story. So usually, yeah, consistently wise, it's already telling something different here. And let's look at the last story. And I purposely left this in a Google slide. This is 20% of Canadians are skipping meals. So it's already 20% now in 20, this news, I think it was 2020 on there. And if you have another one too, this is a telling one too. This is maybe they inadvertently told the truth here. 11 million people out of 40 million say, so that's 25%. And not only that, there's not even 40 million people. We're talking, these are the people that qualified for the grocery one. So there are kids in there too. So really the numbers go closer, going up to 30% of Canadians need grocery rebate that qualify for the number, which is making household income of 38,000 and less. How can 11 million people make under 38,000 or less? How can, and take out the 40 million, take it, say 32 million. So it's really 30% of Canadians are under the poverty line. So I don't get why this, and I'll put this, that the 11, like I said, 30% do not align at all with this 7.4%. We're already off by a lot. So my gut feeling is not even my gut feeling. It's gut feeling was that it was off, but now factually it's off too because another department has said 11 million people qualify, and it's like Trudeau and the team. They're very proud of showing the number of Canadians that are the poverty because they helped them. But inadvertently, what they have told is how many people are actually in poverty, and that's different from the number here. And if the government of Canada would love to provide the model that created this, hey, that's super cool. I believe there's places you can do that, like Kaggle, and show people what assumptions have you used to make this up, and that's what it looks like. And just, I said the 40 million people. This is data here too. You can see the population. This is how many people by age. There are what, 8 million people. So, that's like 30 million people. So that was 11 million on 30 million. That is even more than a third of Canadians qualify for that because you can't add someone under the age of 19. Let's just assume that they didn't like okay, they're still in school or whatever. So I'm not even going to add those. But even seniors or people who don't work, that's the point too. Even there are people on here that don't even work, that don't have an income. So that means it's not even 30 million, it's even less. So that means that 11 million is even more of a percent. So I would say that that statement at the top there, and I'll go way up to the top, this one is incorrect. And like I said, I purposely left this as a Google slide to be open and transparent. So this to me looks like it is so fake and wrong. And I really wish that Stephen Guilbeault or anyone in the Prime Minister's office, when they shoot their mouth off, and they say these big statements like even this Canadian poll that put there. I'd like to see the backup of where the data comes from because from what I have looked, it's not there at all. That it's made up, and that's really sad to say. And they're just using it as a media op-ed. A positive op-ed is all that it is. So anyway, let me know in the comments what you think. If it's good to provide factual information on here, and I'd love to validate some of this information that goes off, but it's just so easy to throw numbers out as a sales pitch. I'll flip it back to this one. A sales pitch like this, it's so easy to throw these numbers out, the official poverty line, that that it's so low, and it was worse under Harper, which they don't have any data to back it up. And that's what's very frustrating about everything that's coming out of Ottawa and everything that they say. And I really wish that they would show some facts. So I love to prove that some of the what the liberals are saying are correct. And even if I did Stephen Guilbeault and stuff, like my everything that he says, I don't think I heard anything factual from that guy, to be honest. But I hope I'm wrong, and I hope he knows. But let me know in the comments what you think about this method of sharing the Google slide and where the links are coming from. But this has been very helpful for me. I can easily do a search in Google if I wanted to pull something up. I mean, I think I did something on coal. I find it mind blowing that Canada exports coal to China and India, and no one can talk about that. So maybe that's the other one I'll resurrect and show the information where that come from, and even the coal plants in China where stuff is made. Okay, thanks for watching. Have a great day.